All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. This is Payload Pat, and we're back at it again with another episode of K8's Cadence, where every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we discuss and go over uh, questions and practice scenarios for the Kubernetes, certified Kubernetes administrator and developer exam. So, what we're doing today is we have a very great event today where we're going to be using Killer.sh. It's the de facto, it's the real deal when it comes to preparing for those exams, where it gives you a simulation account where you are logging into your to a browser, just like you will be doing in the real exam. So pretty much it's extremely hard. It's not really expected for you to pass like first try. So it really gets you, in the zone, to prepare for the exam. So it's 120 minutes long, just like the real exam, but I think it's like roughly 25 questions. So it gives me, when you purchase your CKA or CKAD exam, you are able to get, the Killer.sh simulator as far as you get 2 attempts to use it within a year that you purchase your exam. So I'm going to use one of my 2 attempts today with you all because I love you guys so much and I want you guys to learn and really take advantage of this. So this is going to be a really cool experience. We obviously won't be able to finish everything. I still will have like 36 hours, to look around the environment and all that good stuff as I answer these questions. But I wanted to at least bring this all with you, so you guys can, get some value out of it. So, I know a lot of us are preparing for this exam. So, with that being said, in that long intro, um, I'm not even sure how to get started on this, so we're just going to look at this together. But in the meantime, before I even get started, how's everybody doing? Any questions or like what we've been working on this week as far as Kubernetes? I just want to give some time for you guys to go ahead and speak and see how y'all doing.
Doing
You
well,
guys,
Patrick.
awesome, awesome. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah,
Um,
still
doing
on the
good.
job hunt.
Say it again.
Yeah, still out here on the job.
Oh, okay. All right, understood. Well, I'm glad that you were able to sneak some time in with us. We definitely appreciate your commitment, to hanging out with us. So hopefully it makes your shift in much sooner. And it's a lot more interesting than your work tasks. So, that's lovely to hear. Awesome, awesome. Has anyone ever heard of the Killer.sh exam? Like anybody heard of that before, or not really sure what to expect with it?
Yeah, the Killer SH is like a mock exam, and it's pretty much scenarios based on what you might get from CKA, not exactly one to one, but it's gonna be around those
Yeah,
base scenarios.
exactly, exactly. And it's actually much harder than the official exam from what even they promote that. They say that it's much more difficult. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's way harder than the official exam. So they
Oh,
say if you
son, I
get
didn't even know
this,
that.
yeah, if you're able to get this stuff, you're able to, able to be good. I don't know why it's making me pay for it. I mean, I shouldn't have to pay for it. So dashboard. Let me go back to Linux Foundation. Let's see if I'm able to sign in and get it because it should have came with my let me sign in here. All right, so I should be in there. Okay, great. So I made my purchase, and where would I go for it? I should have done this early. I didn't want to start it, and it gets me started. So security, profile, purchases. See a purchase that. Um, Super weird. Training certifications. Let's try that. All right, so I've never even seen this. Is this it? I think this is to actually start my like exam. No, what is this for? 2 hours duration. Um, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing for a second just so I can take a look and see exactly what or unless someone also knows how to do it, that'll be cool. Let's see. Domains. Let me just click start. Oh no.
We told.
Oops. Oh, you're good. Okay, yeah, this is actually trying to make me like schedule my exam and stuff. I guess when I purchased it, didn't come with it. Okay. Okay. Okay, once you start the scheduling process for exam, you'll see details on how to access it. It's part of the exam checklist. Oh, so I have to, it's part of my exam checklist. Okay, so I guess I gotta like prepare for it. I don't know what's all of that. Let me agree to that. Verify my name. Oh, I gotta schedule my exam. Please wait for the schedule button to come active. Oh man. Okay, so we may not be able to do it today. It's telling me I have to wait before I can schedule, because I guess I have to schedule my actual exam. And I guess that'd be another way that I can show us how to do that as well. How to schedule it. Oh, click here to access the exam simulator. Uh-oh, I think we're here. All right, I think we're good. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I found it. So let me share my screen. All right, beautiful. All right, great. So I was able to go ahead and find it here. So if anyone wants to locate it, you just have to go, um, okay, go here. Once you log in and you're preparing for your exam, there's the option here where you can click here to access the exam simulator, and it pops up here for you. So if anyone was having trouble with that, I just slipped upon it and found it here. So I get 2 sessions from the 1 year that I purchased my exam. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of those today with you all. And here we go. So as I mentioned before, it gives me access to it for 36 hours. The exam itself is going to be 120 minutes, and I'll be able to get the answers and all that. So if you guys aren't able to stay tuned for the entire time, which I don't even expect to finish half the questions, to be honest. Um, and we can actually, review it on the actual live or the video when I post it on YouTube. So you'll be able to go ahead and review it from there, if you are unable to stay tuned during the entire session. So let's go ahead and do that here. So let me go ahead and click yes. Okay, I gotta click it 3 times. They're really big on that. All right, so let's go. So let's just read some of this stuff here. In June 2022, it looks like they changed the remote terminal to a remote desktop. So we're only able to use Firefox browser inside this remote desktop to access the K8 documents, not from our local browser. And there are going to be changes to the copy and paste. There's also Playground, which allows us to test our similar UI. So we need to use the PSI secure browser and all that good stuff. Okay, so that sounds good. So it's gonna load up here as we're ready. Takes about 3 minutes, it says here. But I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to expect. So this is going to be some really good questions. And yeah, let's go ahead and learn together. So if you have any suggestions and, we think we know what the answer is, don't hesitate, stop me from talking. And I want all participation. So, I don't want it to just be a one-sided thing. I want us to learn together. Tell me what you're thinking about so we can, bounce those ideas around each other so we can come to to the solution. Um, so that's the plan. And yeah, we definitely want to make sure, we're in a comfortable environment, where we can say the wrong answer and, explain, our reasoning to why the answer is right or wrong. So this is what we do this. This is why I do this in the first place. So let's do it. Does anyone work with Kubernetes for like their day-to-day tasks or day-to-day work?
Yeah, I have one client that's still Kubernetes based. I work with Brothers International from UK,
Oh, okay.
and pretty much their website is hosted on Kubernetes environment. So their
Mm,
shops, their CD and their CM and everything else that pretty much their site core app service scheme is
okay.
all in Kubernetes. So typically what I do, I use K9s, which I know everyone says like that's not realistic, right? Like you can't. I mean, I do it in production, but I use a tool called K9s to kind of look at all the metrics and everything that's going on with all the pods and
Okay.
restart or just do the basics through there since it's easier.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So as far as your role itself, what's your role?
So I'm an application support engineer in the Azure environment. So like for example, like Porsche, right? They have a website, right?
Yeah.
Their website is hosted in Azure for like the managed services, right? So we can't log into any of the instances for most of our clients. Mainly what it is just checking out what's going on with the metrics, seeing kind of what's going on with the application from a web perspective. So we use New Relic to kind of look at the metrics, see what the response time is like, see if there's any errors, looking at what the instances are doing, and then kind of trying to paint a picture for the clients and taking action if they want us to take action immediately, right?
Cool.
So
Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. They're very interesting. Sounds good. I've never heard of the brothers company, but it sounds pretty awesome.
what? You never heard of Brothers? Brothers is like the printing company, the
Oh,
printers.
that. Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of
yeah.
something
So
else.
basically, they have the US version. We lost that account because everyone's trying to like save money, but
Mm-hmm.
we still held on to the UK account. And
Mm,
so basically, if you're a brother, like let's say you're on the Brothers website and you're trying to buy an actual printer, whether it's a commercial printer for your entire fleet or you know
mm.
you're just trying to buy one printer, that website is what we're trying to keep up and make sure that it's responding quickly and effectively in order to allow you to make purchases. So when you think about it, if we basically just act like we don't care, then the site goes down, they're losing money by the minute, by the second.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. No, real talk. So disaster recovery and operational excellence and having high availability is obviously very important. So definitely part of the best practices. So that's great. That's great. Definitely would like to talk to you more about that offline. But yeah, so we have the simulators ready to go. So I know this is what you guys are here for. So let's go ahead and get started and let's see what this is all about. So all right, cool. All right, so question one is so we have access to multiple clusters from our main terminal through kubectl context. Write all those context names into opt course one context. Okay. So I guess let's open up a terminal. Um, let's that'll be okay here. Is it big enough for you all? Let me just do the view. Let me zoom in. So that should be big enough. Is it okay as far as size wise?
Looks good, Pat.
It's
Yes,
good.
Pat.
Okay, awesome. All right. So we have access to multiple clusters from our terminal, and we need to find out the context, get all the context, right? So let me just see if K, okay, so K is available. Good. So let's do K context, no, K config. Get more context. Should be it, right? I know. Okay. Sure. So write all those context names into opt core. So I think this is it. So it just wants us to do a kubectl get context, and then we're going to redirect that data to here. Yeah, that paste is a little weird. So so we can do a cat here, and then it should give us that. But it says write all those context names. So I don't know if it wants it to be like that actually. I need to do some edits. So let me do this. Um, well, I can do. Let me see if I can do awk. And it's just gonna. Let me see if I can print what two, right? $2. But it's just gonna print these, right? Then I can do -- no headers, right? Then now I should have that. So now I do that here, and I should be able to go ahead and put it into this command here because it didn't ask for all that other stuff, right? So, all right, cool. So I can do a cat here and then paste, and that should do that, right? So we have the actual context of the name of the context, and that pretty much should answer the question, right? Write all the context and names into there. So that looks good. Anyone has any questions on this part, on that first part? Probably
Yeah.
maybe not be familiar with awk, but awk is a really cool program to get used to. All it did was say print the $ me too means I'm just printing the second row here. So if I did one, it'll be this 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So very handy tool. It's an actual language that you put that you can get some experience with for scenarios like this. So it says next write a command to display the current context into opt context. The command should use kubectl. So you can do kubectl config, and we want to get the current context. So I think it's with dash current context. Okay, cool. So let me do that command again. So kubectl config current context. That's just going to give us the current context, and it outputs that. So let's go ahead and redirect that here. Actually, let me make sure that this is there anything in here? If it is, oh, doesn't exist. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just redirect the output here to that and here. So if I do sh, it's going to run that script. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait. It says it's not found. kubectl get current context. kubectl config current context. Anyway, well, we do cat here. Trying to see if I can get it. Okay. So what it did was I just redirected the output. What I really need to do is do an echo here. And then it should be good now. So now if I do a cat, it should tell me that. And if I do a shell, it's just going to say that. So now it ran the actual command here. So that looks good. So it says finally write a second command doing the same thing into ops cores, but without the use of kubectl. So we need to look in the actual kubeconfig file to find that information. So let me do the cd, let me see, ls minus al dot cube. So let's do the cd dot cube Let's see what's in there, and let's cat the config. Right. Let me just see that works. Right. It should be somewhere where it says like current. So let me control L that. Let me see cat. Let me do a cat config. I'm gonna pipe it in grep -I current. There we go. Current context. Okay. So if I do that and redirect it into do the same thing without the use of kubectl. So I just I do here. K8's. I think I should. Okay, grep current context. I'm just thinking if how would I just grab this K8's here, or is it even necessary in a sense? See, that's why I don't know how in depth they want. Because this could be enough, or they can just say, hey, we didn't ask for the current context. It literally just asked for this. So grep current, and then let me see grep. Let me do a grep each and grep. Anybody has any suggestions on this one? Okay, ready to see context, and then
Sorry, I'm not a master with Linux, so I know about some stuff, but you know, I'm learning
yeah,
myself.
no, you're good. You're good. So I'm gonna do an awk command, and then let's do this print 2. Try that again. See if that works. All right, cool. So I just do that. So now I need to do a echo cat, and then this, and then redirect it to this file here. So we spent a lot of time on this question, so that's gonna be kind of rough to keep going. So just shell command here. Oh wait, why did it do that? Print did print 2.
You see, he recording this. He already in there.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're in here, man.
Oh
So
crap! I apologize.
are you good? How about this? I do. I think it's related to the that here. Let me try that. It says it's not found. Show. No, it doesn't like it. We'll do this. Let's try this. Don't know if this is gonna work, but okay, give it a try. Saying it's not found. Something different. Okay. Oh, you know what? This is what I can do. Wait, I'm gonna do a print working PWD to get the current directory and get the exact directory here and then see if this works. So that paste. Oh, this pasting is gonna drive me crazy. /K8's .q /config. To all of this. There we go. Okay. So there we go. So let's see if it does the same crop here. You saying not found. Okay, let's see where we're going. Oh, okay. So now this current context, but why is it not printing that one? I'm just gonna skip this one because I want us to get over some other questions. But essentially, we got the answer. Oh, I didn't do print $sign. Oh, see, the alt command is not pulling that stat number 2. Okay, that's something to review later on, but that's fine. All right, so question number 2. So we need to change our context to make sure that we always do that. And let me just go ahead and cd back. Just cd into the main directory. There, and then let's paste this. All right, so we're in the right context. So create a single pod of image here in namespace default. The pod should be named pod1 and the container should be named pod1 container. The pod should only be scheduled on the control plane nodes. Do not add any new labels to any nodes. Okay. So let me get nodes. So first thing is a cluster control plane node. Let's see if it has any tolerations. Minus OY. And then just only want this one. So I don't know why it doesn't want to copy cluster control plane node and then grep, run a grep minus I taints. That's just gonna look for anything that shows if there's any taints on it. Doesn't show any taints, so that's fine. So let's go ahead and do this. So K run, so kubectl run. The name of the pod is going to be pod1. So we're gonna name it pod1, and then dash dash image is going to equal to this. And then need to rename the container pod. So I'm going to go ahead and do a dash dash dry dash run equals client minus output YAML. And then I'm just going to redirect it to, I'm going to name it q2.yaml. And let me vi q2.yaml. So we named it pod, but the name of the image needs to be pod1 container. And then leave in the spec, I can do node name. And then the name is going to be, let me, some background. Easy. I'm just gonna save it. And let me go back to where it be the old name. Okay, so it's all right. So node name, and I think this is just going to say, hey, I want the node, I want it to be on this node here, as if it doesn't have any taints. All right, so looks like everything else is right. It says do not add any new labels to any nodes. So let's see if this actually works. Just make sure that's saved. Okay, yeah. All right, so let me do a K create -f v2, and let's get pods. And then we're going to do a dash that we do a output wide and see what node it's on. So it's called, what do we name it? Pod 1, and it's running on what node? Cluster 1 control plane 1. So we were able to get that created without a problem. And I just used the node selector, which is the node name, and it automatically defaulted to that node. So did anyone have any questions on that one? Let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. Be right back. Okay. All right, cool. So there are two pods named O3DB and namespace project C13. C13 management asks you to scale the pods down to one replica to save resources. So there are two pods named O3DB. So let me do get pod in this namespace actually. Okay. Oh, wait. Minus namespace. 10. All right, so there's a few of them. Okay, this one they say O3DB 0 and 1. So these may be the replica sets. Let me see. Let me take a look and investigate what type of things we have here, because they go by 0 and 1. So usually that's like a replica set or a stateful set. Let me see. K8's RS, that one. Let me do a here. It's not a replica set. Let me see. STS. Okay, so they're stateful sets as I thought. Um, so let's do a K edit. So K scale, I can spell. STS. I don't even know if this will work. DB and its namespace. Project secret. Okay. And then dash replicas is going to equal to scale down to 1. So now it's going to be 1 out of 1. So we were able to go ahead and scale that pod to 1. So that was it. So the next question, let's go ahead and change the context here. And so do the following in the namespace default: create a single pod name ready of service ready of image, configure a liveness pro which simply executes command true. Also configure a readiness pro which does check if the URL is reachable. You can use it2 for start the pod and confirm it isn't ready because of the readiness pro. Okay, all right, so let's do I think I need to open up the documentation on this one. So let's open up Kubernetes. Get some documentations there. Okay, so readiness. Oh, Okay. All right, awesome. So we're gonna do a find. How do you do this on here? Find on page. Okay, whatever. See, this is why you gotta get used to, because I don't really use Firefox that much. So, oh, this is terrible, actually.
You know, if you could just control F it.
Yeah, does it work like that in here? I don't want to. Okay, it does work. Okay,
I think it
kind.
does.
Yep, it does. Yep, kind. Yeah, this is gonna be a pod, so I'm just gonna copy. I guess I can just copy this here, and let's go back to the terminal and VIQ4 YAML. So paste that here. You see, already see an issue. It's API version 1. Okay. See, we know what's going on. Okay, create. Okay, run. Um, and then we use this image. Take this. Bash. Do a shell -c true command. Should. And oh, the liveness probe is going to do that. I don't need to do that. Dash dry dash run equals client minus output YAML. And then I'm going to actually name this one Q4. PI Q4.YAML. Okay. So first thing it says I need to create is a pod, name that image, and then we need to create a liveness probe. So, oh, okay, and I'm just going to go back to the docs and add this. Liveness probe. Okay. I don't think I need that, but okay. Go back here and let's see if I can do a set paste. Paste. So probe, and this needs to actually go over. Okay. The liveness probe is going to run true, so let's do a shell. See, it's to run true.
Wouldn't that spacing have to be only 2 lines after liveness probe? Or sorry, 2 spaces instead of 3.
X. All right, awesome. So that looks good, and I can just double check here. Yep, you're right. Yeah, so I don't know why I didn't copy the L. Super weird. So that looks good. So the first part simply executes true, but we also need to do a readiness probe. It does the check to this URL. And let's do this here. Copy. Oh well. Let me do this actually. What am I doing? Okay. The readiness. Ready. This pro. I think it's lowercase too. Okay, and then the readiness probe is going to run the command here. It's I don't know. Should it just be like this? It's true. I don't know. We'll test it out, see if that works. But I don't think I'm going to worry about this part. So got the liveness probe and the readiness probe, and you can use the wget, start the pod, and confirm if it isn't ready because of the readiness probe. Okay. Let's see if this works. Okay, create. We're going to create -f. Then name of the file is going to be Q4. Oh, for YAML. And let's see if we have any errors. Okay. The liveness command type string spec containers liveness probe. So let's look at liveness probe. Oh, it just I'm seeing the this maybe. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Ready. And it shouldn't be ready because the other pod with this label is not ready yet. So let me do a control, no, it's O, and then it should continue to stay in the 0 out of 1 running. And then we can do k logs, and then this pod. So maybe it gives us some details on why it's not running. Okay. Okay. So I guess it couldn't command. So I guess it can't do the command. It's not set server name, could not reliably determine fully qualified domain name. So it didn't find it, I guess. So let's see if this works. So let's do another pod. So okay, run pod name here. Am I ready? Dash image is equal to here. Oops, we can do that. Okay, I guess that's fine. All right, so let's paste that. And then it says it needs to have a label here. All right, so we can do a -L equals. So we can add the label this way. So label equals ID. It has to be an equal. So ID
Huh.
equals this.
ID?
Yeah, this is the label that it needs.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's why. I thought that was part of the syntax, as in something you had to do. I've never done ID before. Okay.
Yeah, it just it's saying that's one of the labels because if I do a k get svc /ep, which is endpoint, now we can see the service I'm already is connected to that endpoint because of the label matching. So
Hmm.
let's if we can see the other pod is now running. See, am I running? Am I ready is now running. It's now in a ready state because it was waiting for this to work. So looks like we got that one good. So that was a pretty good question. Yeah, so that was a good one. All right, so the next one, let's go ahead and set our context. And it says there are various pods in all namespaces. Write a command into that, which lists all pods sorted by their age. Okay, so kubectl get pods minus the big A flag is just going to say get all pods and all namespaces. And as you see, we got all of that. So we need to do that, and then we got to do a dash dash sort dash by equals dot metadata dot creation timestamp. That should give us all of them based on their age. And if you probably see, wait, what happened? You see 54 days, 3 minutes, 14 minutes, 59 seconds. So it's going by the age, and we're using the dot metadata dot creation timestamp, which they actually gave us, which is cool. So now I need to do a echo, and then here, and then redirect this into this command. Paste. So if I cat that command, that file, right, and then if I do a sh, that file, it should write the same output. There you go. Awesome. Now write a second command into that file, which lists all pods sorted by field metadata.uid, and use kubectl sorting for both commands. So we kind of did the same thing already. So instead of this one, let me remove that. And then instead of it going to be this, it's going to be .metadata.uid. Okay. That makes sense for everyone?
Yeah. Now, Pat, I've been doing this similar commands, but I have not been like for the modifiers or the parameters. I have not been adding the equal sign, just using the
That
space.
that doesn't matter. That actually is fine.
Okay.
It's just a matter of what you feel comfortable doing. It's less things to type. So yeah, that method is absolutely okay. There's not a right or wrong way to do it, to be honest. But good point. So yeah, you can do the equal, and he means by this here, you don't necessarily, I can do a dash dash sort by, and then I can just have a space dot metadata. So the equal sign is pretty much optional. So if I do a cat that, and then if we do a shell here, boom, now it's being sorted by, remember we were looking before, it was like 54 seconds. So now it's being sorted by the UID, which is there. So that was a cool question. Not bad at all. Question number 6. This is weight 8, so this is quite a bit. Let's see. Let's go ahead and change the context. So we need to create a new persistent volume named Safari PV. It should have a capacity of 2 gigs, access mode, and host path, and no storage class name defined. So first, definitely need to go to the kubectl, the Kubernetes documentation, and look for PV. So let's go there, and then kind is persistent volume. And look for the next one, and this one should be fine. What does it say? Access mode rewrite once. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy everything from here. All right, so let's go back here and we do a VI 6 YAML and and then paste this, right? Okay, so it says it needs to be read write once. It says it needs host path, so I'll do host path here, host path. Um, but so it's in volumes. Is that uppercase? Okay, yeah, that's how they have it. Okay, so volume mode. This file system should be fine, and it needs 2 gigs, so 2 GI. And then we need to do the name of RAPV. Right? So Does that look good to everyone? So we got the name Safari PV. It should have a capacity of 2 gigs. Access mode read write once. The access mode is read write once. Host path, path, volume data. That
Good
looks
stuff,
good.
Pat. I think we're just the spacing's a little off there on path.
On which on path? Oh, 2. It needs to be 2.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Yep, perfect. So we can do that, right? So and no storage class defined. So we didn't define a storage class. And if you guys haven't done this before, we can just create another we can use the same file to create multiple resources. So that's what I'm going to do just to save us the time of creating separate things. So let's go back to so we need to create a persistent volume claim. So let's go ahead and go here and look for persistent volume. All right. So
The
we
three
can do
dots
this.
signal. Quick question, Pat. You
Yeah.
don't mind?
Yeah,
The
sure.
three lot dashes signify a new resource is being added. That's
Yeah.
kind of
So
how you separate it.
exactly. So if you want to just use the same file but create multiple resources in it, you just do the 3 dashes and then you can put the content under it and it pretty much looks at it as a completely new file under the same one. So nice way to use that. So yeah, good question.
It's good to know, man. Thanks.
Of course. All right. So now we need to add a namespace here. So first the name is Safari PVC. And then I'm just going to do under that namespace. And that is going to be Project Tiger. So let's paste that in there. So it's also going to be rewrite once file system, and then the request amount is going to be 2 gigs. So 2 GI. Right? Okay. That looks good to me. Persistent volume claim, Safari PVC, namespace Project Tiger. I don't think Project Tiger, we haven't checked if Project Tiger actually is a namespace already. So we may have to create that namespace first. But so far that looks good from what I'm seeing here, and we don't have a uh, storage class name defined. So let me do a K8's, just see if that namespace is already created. And what's the name of it? Project Tiger, right? Safari PV Project Tiger. Yep, so it's already created. So let's do a K create minus F, and then what I have it? Question 6, Q6. Name it something different. Oh, I just named it 6. Let's see if I have any problems. So K get PVC minus namespace Project Tiger. We want to make sure that it's actually showing bound. If it shows bound, we're good. If it doesn't, there's a problem. Awesome. You see it says bound here, which means that they connected. So the claim or the request for this persistent volume that we created has been granted and they are now tied together. And as you see, the volume is Safari PV and it's rewrite only, and we'll rewrite once, and it's using 2 gigs, and it's no storage class. So that's perfect. So now the next part is we need to create a deployment called Safari and namespace Project Tiger, which mounts the volume at temp Safari data, and the pods of the deployment should be of image there. So let's do a K create deploy name of deployment Safari minus N for the namespace dash as image is equal to here. All right. And then the deployment should be of image there, and it was going to mount to the volume at temp Safari data. Okay, so let's do it on dry run. Minus dry run equals client minus output YAML. Then we're going to redirect that to, I'm going to say this 6, I'm just going to name the deployment Safari, right? So safari.yaml. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up this here Safari file. Now let's make a few changes. So Within here, we need to go to the image and the name. Does it say a name needs to be something specific? No, that's fine. So we'll just leave it as the name there. But we need to do two things. We need to add a volume and a volume amount. So we can do volume amounts name. I'm just gonna name it my vol, and then we're gonna do mount f, and the mount path is going to be here. So you can put it in quotations if we want. I'll just leave it actually. Doesn't matter. So it's pretty much going to mount to this volume there, and then now we have the volume mount. Next thing we need to do is do volumes, right? So volumes is going to be level with containers. So VOLUMES volumes, and then I believe it's name. The name of it is going to be my vol, but it needs to go from a persistent claim, right? So it needs to be was it persistent volume claim, and then claim name is going to be the name of the claim. If we've named it Safari PBC. So does that make sense, everyone?
Oh
So
yeah.
we have the container, we have the image there. It's going to use the my vol volume. So these have to match. These cannot be different. And then it's going to use the mount path. So within the container, we want to mount that persistent volume to this TMP Safari data volume. So that should work. I think I didn't look at any documentation, which is not a best practice, but let's see. It'll tell us if it's wrong. So K create minus F Safari, and let's see if we got any problems. So volumes, unknown field spec template. Okay, let's see. Persistent volume claim. Um, Maybe something related here. So let's just go to volumes. I'm gonna do persistent volume claim, and it should be like a kind. So we can do kind and then pod. So it actually gives us a better idea. Okay, so pod claim name. That looks good. Is it volumes? Okay, I think it's just that one. Oh, wait. Volume mounts, mount path.
We have the name there.
For volumes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one is like spaced out too, so I think that might be the problem. So like I think it's like what? That be it? Oh no, then I expect line 30. So we can do a set number so we can see the number. So line 30. So it doesn't like that. So something is related to this volumes thing that I have wrong. So it's lined up with container. Is volumes is it should be lowercase, right? So volumes. I'm just gonna copy this. Right. Let's see. It looks right here. My from what it looks like here, but okay. Um, Okay, this is wrong, obviously. So where is it here? So that's the L. So line up with the L. Right? Volume mount path. This is why. What in the world? Not found. My vol. Oh, copy this here. So I need to change the name of the volume back to my vol. And then the persistent volume claim is going to be my PVC. And then hopefully here's it. Okay, so it looks like it created finally. All right, so let's do K8's. Let's get the deployment in the namespace of Project Tiger, I believe. Yep. And now we named it Safari, and it's 1 out of 1, so it's available and it's fine. So we were able to do that, and also we could have did everything in that one file, but I wanted to make sure that persistent volume was right. But not sure what happened with the syntax. So I thought it looked correct, but even one small thing can make a big difference. All right. Okay, cool. All right. Let's do this here. All right, so the metric server has been installed in a cluster. Your colleague would like to know the kubectl commands to show node resource usage and show pods and their container resource usage. Please write those commands into opt and okay. So there's this command called top. So it's very useful. So you want to do kubectl top. And it's just like in a regular Linux command, we have the top, it shows the top processes is running. In this case, we can do kubectl top nodes. And this is going to give us our node usage. So let's do ktop nodes. And then you can see here. And I can do, right? So I can do here. So now I'm going to do echo. Going to give us the top nodes. And I can redirect this to here. And then if I do cat, there you go. All right, so it gives me the same command. And it's the same thing for pods. So instead of it being top nodes, you can do top pods. But you know what? Let me do ktop pods. Maybe if you want to do it in all namespaces. The kubectl top pods, right? And this, okay, and it gives me all of them. So the metric server, call about commands to show the pods and all their container resource usage. So I'm going to do it all for all. It didn't specify that, but it would be better if to just have it on all. So let me do go here. So echo kubectl top pods, and remember the minus large A flag, uppercase A flag is going to go for all the namespaces. So we can do that here, and then same command shell. Boom, same command here. So okay, number 8. So use context here, SSH into the control plane node. With SSH here, and okay, I'm in there. All right, and check how the control plane and components QPPI servers are started installed in the control plane node. Also find out the name of the DNS application and how it's started and installed in the control plane node. Okay, so let's do this here. Okay. So let's do a, let me just open up this file here. Hi. So just here.
I have a quick question. For
Sure.
the test, they don't have you mess with the keys for the SSH, right?
No, it's just literally SSH and you should be able to get right into it.
Okay.
Yeah, good question, because yeah, that would be a whole nother problem that you don't have to worry about, luckily enough. So
Oh, good to know.
yeah, that's just a whole another element that would be a pain in the butt. Um, let me just try to organize this here properly. Okay. Okay. All right. So the kubelet itself is a process, right? We know that one is a process. Kube API server, this is a static pod. So static pod, kube scheduler, static pod, and then the kube control manager is also a static pod. And I'll show you how you can identify what are static pods. Essentially, they're not being scheduled by the kube scheduler. You can just put a manifest in the etc Kubernetes manifest, that folder, and it'll automatically spin up, that pod definition file. So an etcd is a static pod as well, right? So let me go ahead and save this. And I'll show you. Oh no, let me do a U. What happened? Okay. Um, oh, I can't see the bottom of this. Can't open file for writing. What is this doing? Wait, why did it let me- I don't know. Paste. Can't open file for writing. Why is it doing that? Sue? Can't open file for writing. Okay, whatever. Okay.
It might be a permission. Oh, you did use sudo. I know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can delete it. I want to remove any of this ops /course. Oh, you know what? Is this supposed to be in write your findings into file? Because I'm in a control plane. Write your findings in the file ops course 8 components. The file should be structured like that. So SSH, check out, and write your findings into this here. So I need to open up another terminal or something. How do you open a new terminal over here? Oops, no, wrong. An open terminal. So as ops course 8 control and batch. Okay. Okay, I, and then let me paste this here. Okay. All right. So essentially what we're doing here is I can do a k get pods minus namespace cube system. And then every static pod is going to have the name of the node appended to it. So you see the etcd server pod, that one has a control plane, control plane, control plane, and the cube scheduler control plane. So the next thing here says the DNS. So the DNS is core DNS, and it says the type and then the name. So the type of for a core DNS is, I believe this is going to be a standard pod, and that's going to be like a daemon set, it looks like here. So I just need to do the name as far as core DNS here. So let me update that file here if I can find it. I'm still in the control plane in this one. Okay, let's do this one here. So let's go back and open it up again, and let's change this DNS type to pod, and the name is going to be core DNS. That makes sense for everyone?
Yes.
That's
On the
Yeah.
test, would they ever like trick you and make just would you have to confirm there's a daemon set? What if
um
there's like, there's a replica?
no, but we can always trust but verify. So k get
Yep.
pod minus namespace cube system. Well, not pod, but k get ds. It's kind of short for daemon set. And oh, it's not a daemon set. It's a replica. Is it a replica set? Yep, it's a replica set. So there you go. But
Stuff.
you can always double check. So I stand corrected on that. So that was that question here. So that was a good one. That was a good practice question. So we're back, changing our context. So it also wants us to go back into the control plane, and it says temporarily stop the cube scheduler. This means in a way that you can start it again. We kind of touched on that. So we need to go ahead and do let's cd to the etc Kubernetes manifest file, and then we should see all of the things here. So what we need to do is let me just move this file. So move the cube scheduler, right? So move cube scheduler. I'm going to just move it back. So that means just moving it back to the directory. So if I do back, if I do that here, cube scheduler should be in here now, right? So cube scheduler. So now it's no longer going to be a pod. Like that pod is going to shut down automatically. So it says create a single pod named schedule of image here. And let's confirm it's created but not scheduled on any node. So let's do a k create, no, k run. Pod is going to be named manual schedule dash dash image. I'm going to do this for you. It is Desiree, right? Or is Desiree?
Yeah.
Or,
Yes.
okay,
That's right.
good. So for you, so I know you like to use the no spaces, well, the no equal sign, which is literally the same thing. So it doesn't make any difference. And let's do that here. So it was created, but if we do k get pod, it should not get assigned because the scheduler is not able to schedule it. So it says now I'm the scheduler and I have the pod and I have the power, all the power. I've been at the power. So, but let's manually schedule the pod on the node cluster to control plane and make sure it's running. So yeah, let's do that. So in fact, I always like to if we do k get node minus oy and then grep minus I taint. There's no taints on it, so that's good. So we should be able to do it without a problem. So manually schedule that pod on node cluster 2, make sure it's running. So let's do a k edit pod. What is it named? What, yeah, k edit pod manual schedule. So one thing that we really need to do, I think, here would be do the node name, right? So we did that on another question, I believe, already. Node name. And we're gonna move it to this node, cluster 2 control plane 1. I think that should suffice and be sufficient. So let's do a K replace dash force dash F is for the file. So I'm forcing it to remove that pod. And we're gonna use this new YAML here file that we just created. Well, that it created for us. And let's see if it actually scheduled now. There you go. So now it's in the that names the control plane node that we specified. Now start the kube scheduler again and confirm it's running correctly by creating a second pod. Okay, so let's go ahead and ls here, and we're gonna move our kube scheduler. So mv for move kube scheduler to the manifest file. Wait, let's do here, copy, paste, let's see. Just name it. Pretty much it would rename it if I needed to, but oh no. Oops. And s forward slash. Just leave it cube. So let me cd to manifest ls cube scheduler. So it's back in there. So if I do a k get pods minus namespace cube system, it may take some time for it to show up again, but yeah, let me see. Should start running in a couple of seconds. Wait, is it the cube scheduler? Okay, yeah, it's actually running 23 seconds ago, as you see there. Okay, cool. So now we need to just do the last part here is start the cube scheduler. So we did that already. Now we need to create another image. So K create K run, sorry. Name of the image. And then run manual dash image, and that's going to be Alpine, and let's do that here. So okay, get PO. All right, and it's running 9 seconds ago. So the cube scheduler is back running again as it should. So that's it. It says check if it's running on cluster 2 node 1. So to do what it asks, you want to do dash o wide, and then pipe grep. It's just to be like 100% sure. So we see it's on cluster 2 node 1. So that's that question. And let me just move on here. So let's do that here. Oh wait, let me exit. I'm in there. So now we switch context. So create a new service account name processor, names a project hamster, create a role and role binding, both name processor as well. These should allow the new SA to only create secrets and config maps in that namespace. Okay, so this is an easy one. So okay, create say service account, the name of the service account processor, right? So oh, let me delete that. Anybody spot what I did wrong? I put the namespace. So I put namespace in there. All right, and then create a role and a role binding, both name processors. So okay, create role. Then the name of the role is going to be processor. And then it says it should only allow me to create secrets and config maps in that namespace. So dash dash verb, and that's just saying like what can you do. So the verb is going to be they can only create. So create is only verb that shows up there, and it needs to be and the resources is going to be secrets. So secrets and then comma config maps. So config maps. And I'm gonna do dash dash then dash n for namespace. Okay. So we have the role name processor, we have the verb, the action that it can do, and then the resources that it can do this action on are going to be secrets and config maps within the project hamster namespace. Okay. So now we need to go and create a role binding, which combines the service account with the actual role we created. So let's do a k create role binding, and that role binding is going to be named. It says processor, and we need to do dash dash be like role, I believe. Oh wait, quit. Dash dash role going to be processor, and then a dash dash service account. Service account is going to be we have to name the namespace. So service account is going to be namespace, and then the name of the service. I'm going to move it up so you guys can see. Okay, cool. So it created it. So most importantly, this is worth 6.6%. So you want to do, if you have the time, you always want to check your work. So K auth and I create. Oh, can I create? Can I create secrets dash dash as? So it's going to be system, system service account, the ICE account, namespace. Once you start doing this a lot, you're going to get used to it, and then the name of the service account. I think that's
You
right.
missing a V there?
Yep, I am. Service account,
It's cool.
project, hamster, processor, and then minus n for the namespace. Namespace is project. And let's see if it says yes or no. It says no. So I probably did something wrong. As system, SERVICE, project hamster, processor, namespace, project. I don't know what I missed here. Found. Can I create secrets? Can I create config maps? No. So I did something wrong here. Let me do so role, right? Namespace, service account, system, k get role, into namespace here. I processor. It's this C4. That's a go. 4 characters. We do C8. let me do a describe role. And right now, I probably should just move forward. But I'm gonna show this here. Config maps. So we're able to create config maps as secrets. So those are there. If you could create role binding processor, both named as well. I did the namespace.
Are you able to describe the service account?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna give much though.
Curious
Service
if it
account.
shows what roles are here.
Yeah, let's see. Well, that's not a namespace. Namespace is yeah, labels, events, tokens, annotations. Yeah, I don't think it really will give us much there. But I'm gonna move on. Get it wrong,
Okay.
it's okay. It's all about speed here. I'll review it later. So, and obviously we're not gonna finish this. Not expected, especially when we're like discussing it. I'll be going through this much faster, but I like to talk through it. So use namespace for the following, and there is a shortcut, right? Let me do cheat sheet. I'll use this here. Something on this cheat sheet I was looking at earlier today that I actually used, which was K8's, right? Where is it? Come on. Okay. Thought it was here. All right. Well, K8's. Here it is, this one. So we go here and in this terminal, do this. So now if I do KN, then a name, I don't have to like continue to change. So it just changes your context for you. So now create a daemon set named DS. So K create DS, name this, dash as image is this, dash L is equal to here, and I believe it's just a comma to have multiple labels. And the pod it creates should request 10 millicore CPUs. And a pods of that daemon set should run on all nodes, also all control planes. Okay. Output YAML. This in Q11. Yeah. Um, ADS. Why didn't it like it? Weird. Q2 create daemon set. Important image. Unknown flag image. I don't really use this DaemonSet thing that often, so let's see. Okay, create this. Okay. Can we create a daemon set from there? Nope, we can't. So we got to create it from, got to get started for DS here. Oh, just a discussion. Set. All right. Then we can do a find. Okay. All right. So I'm going to copy this whole thing. Okay. Daemon set 11 YAML. And it's here. All right. So we got a couple things that we need to change, right? So namespace needs to be here. Name of the daemon set should be yes. All right, label. Okay, we have these labels. Um, paste that here, and then I'll fix it in a sec. It's here, so we can go here. We're just creating daemon set with the specifications that it's mentioning there. Then a selector. I guess copy the same things here. Um, just what delete this here. All right, labels, name. So here you paste there as well. Oh wait, no. And then paste here. I'm gonna delete this. And then X and tolerations. Okay. No, so now the control plane more than likely has these two tolerations, the control plane and master. So it should allow it to get placed on those nodes. On those nodes. So the pod it creates should request 10 millicore CPU. Just 10 M. The memory. Okay, issue in 10 megabytes of memory. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can find this word megabyte because I don't know that offhand. So let's see if we can paste that in there and find a page that has that. Megabytes is, those are 400 megabytes, 400 MI. So I think it's just MI.
I agree.
Right? MI, right?
My,
I'm just gonna
yeah.
MI. Yeah, okay. So go back here. MI. Oops. So memory should be 10. CPU 10M. The limits, it doesn't say the limits. So I don't know if I should have a limit on here. Um, but it doesn't have any limits for there. So I'm just gonna delete this. Just have those requests, it says. And then volume mounts. I don't think we need a volume mount. It doesn't say anything about a volume mount. So I'm gonna delete these. And then no vol. It didn't say anything about a volume. And then generation grace period. Didn't mention that. So I think this is all we need. Okay, create F11. Let's try it. The features ignored. API version is not set. Oh, I don't know what's going on with this. I guess we got something that we should pay attention to. With the copying. It's okay. Hit DS. Is this in a certain namespace? Well, it should be in all minus name. Okay. Hit DS. Minus O. No, we want to see O wide. We want to see what Damon says where they're at. So what node are they on? Node. Um, well, let's do this. Get pods O wide minus A and grep and it's I BS dash M4. So now we can see there in the it's one on a cluster control plane, one on a cluster one node, and cluster one node two. So that daemon set is on all nodes, so that looks good, and it had those requests that we mentioned in there. So that was a good one. So question number 12, you can use this context here. Let's paste that in there. And then so use namespace project tiger. I think I'm still in namespace, but I can do a and quickly just set it again. Project tiger. So we're in there, we're in that context. Now create a deployment name, deploy important. So okay, create name this dash label equal here. The pods should also have this label and 3 replicas. Look at 3. It should contain 2 containers. The first container with image Nginx, the second container with image Kubernetes. There should be only ever one pod of that deployment running on one worker node. We have 2 worker nodes. Because the deployment has 3 replicas, the result should be on them both nodes on the pod are running. The third won't be scheduled unless the new worker node will be added. Okay. This is going to be interesting. I'm not really sure about this one here, but we'll figure it out. So dash image is equal to what? I'll just do the first one there, and then I'll update the other one. Um, dash dash dry dash run equals client minus output YAML. Okay. And then it's going to be Q, I'll just name this 12.yaml. Label ID because it's very important. Unknown shorthand flag doesn't let me do the label. I'll add it in the required to exactly one name or to name the deployment. K8's keeps create deployment important. It did give it a name. HCL create deployment, name deploy important. They got two. I run. Oh, two. IP. I've never seen that before. Line is going YAML, dry run equals client, replicas, image. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so let's do VI
I see.
12. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Um, okay, so it needs to have this label here. Pod should also have this label. So let's go ahead and this. Okay, so got three replicas, and it says it should also have this label here. So let's delete that. Oh wait, let me do it. Right. Okay, so this container is right. It says the name needs to be the first name. It should contain two containers. First named container one. And then the second one should be named, and it says this image. And it should be named container two. Okay, resource is there, so that looks good. All right. So there should only be ever one pod of that deployment running on one worker node, and we have two worker nodes in that cluster. So let me this. So let me get scribe pod node describe node cluster one worker cluster one node. Just want to look at the labels, right? So all right. Kubernetes, the IO host name. Okay, I think I'm going to use this label here. How do I do that though? Let me see here. Spread constraints.
Did you use an affinity on the for this?
Yeah, it's an affinity. Absolutely. But I think it's like a topology key. Okay, I think it's this that I need to use. But I don't know how to. I don't. Let me see where I can find that. Okay, topology key. Um, Topology spread constraint. Is that what it is? Because I know there's something where you could just do like topology key and that's it. So these are default constraints, but these aren't like pods for um see, these are spread constraints. Let me see if there's any more like options.
I remember with affinities, we could always do if the key exists. I don't know if that
Right.
helps.
Yeah, but I think there's an even simpler way where it does like if there's a match label. Can I just put the match label in there? Because that label has to match. Yeah, I think it's like an anti-affinity, right? Like okay, let me try this. Is anyone else on? Just you and I right now? Oh, Natasha's
No,
still
I'm
on.
still here.
Cool, cool, cool. And if you have any questions, Natasha, let me know too.
You know, I'm gonna watch your videos on YouTube and try to get caught up.
Oh yeah, all right, that's awesome. That's awesome. So that sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Um, so I think we can do this, right? Okay, let's really read quickly on this. Um, multiple node spread constraints. Suppose you have 4 node cluster through the pod. You can combine topology track and control spread by node and by zone. Um, this one is a interesting one. Let me try this. Um, topology T. What is it called again? Um, I think I was better off here. Okay. Um, node anti-affinity. Let me do one. This is a good question. Um, okay, let's do this. So we could do affinity, node anti-affinity. Okay, copy this. Let's go here and put it down under spec, right? And paste. Let's see, I done screwed it all up. I think that's right. So we need to do a node anti-affinity. Node select the terms, max expression, key. Let's say exists. We'll need the values. But the key is going to be topology dot with host name, I think it was. Oh, let me see if I can go back to the search. Yeah. Um, So node, anti-affinity, match expressions, key, Kubernetes IO, host name, exists. Is it an exist T or with an S? Um, we'll figure it out. Let's do a K8. It's probably gonna throw mad issues, but let's just see. A node affinity, node anti-affinity. I do it right. Let me go back here. Let's get an example. Anti. Let's see what we got. And I think it's not a node affinity. I think it's a pod affinity that we need. Over one pod. So it's not necessarily a node affinity, it's a pod affinity. So I actually need to change that to pod. Pod anti-affinity, but is the A and anti? I don't see an actual. Let me do a anti-infinity. Okay, I think it was this one. Pod anti-affinity. Key. Label selectors, terms, key, topology, key. Damn, this might be one I might have to. You know what? This is the one I'm looking for. I think it's just this, the topology key. So host name. What is that? So if it has this label, right? So key, node selector terms. Wait, no. Pod selector terms. An expression. Key. Going to be here. ID, and then very important. And then operator is what is in, I believe. And then values is going to be very important, right? And then last part here, I think, is where it's important. Oh, here, I'd select your terms. Need to have this topology key that's lined up with label selector. Pod selector. I don't know if this is right, but body affinity, type of affinity, cannot unmarshal object field pod anti-affinity spec dot template required doing scheduling in order of type pod affinity term. Affinity pod required operator in. Okay, whatever. I'm going to skip this one. But I want to go back and see that one because that's a pretty beefy one. Pretty good because we only got like 20 minutes left. So I want to at least get like 15 questions done, which is roughly around the amount of the actual exam. So space that here. So use context here, create a pod name multi-container playground in namespace default. So I need to change the namespace back to default. So if I do kn default, should be back in the default namespace. With 3 containers named C1, C2, C3. The volume on every container, but just in the other pods. Container 1. Okay, so create an pod. I'll just use this one dash as image is equal to this. Okay, and have the name of the node where the pod is running available as my node name. Okay. That's me. Okay. Container 2 should contain the image busy box right output the file date command every second. You can use while for this. Okay. So with this command, I'm going to do it like this. So I'm going to use the second one because I can do the command dash dash and right. So while true due date. So shell -c and then try run. Oh, image dash dash dry dash run equals client and output YAML and I just redirected to a file called 13.yaml. So bi 13.yaml. So see what I did wrong here. See, let's see here. I didn't do the dash -o YAML. So now it should. Okay, cool. All right. Now I need to do this. So I need to create 2 other images. So V 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna do a Y for yank. I'm just gonna put P to paste, and then P to paste again. So I got my 3 pods. So this one is gonna be named C. I can just do C1 on this, right? So here. Okay. So image name. So this one is gonna be Nginx. Okay, paste. Name of this pod is going to be named C1. C1. And should have a environment variable named my node name. Okay, so from the node name. So let's do this. This is probably something that's going to be in documentation somewhere, probably. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can find anything that says my node name that pulls a node name with an environmental variable. Oh, okay, here. So env. Perfect. We got it. All right, so let's go back here, back there, and then let's go ahead and paste that. That looks crazy. So I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna do a escape, and I'm gonna do a colon set paste. See if that helps this. And then now I'm gonna paste it and see if it keeps the structure. No, it actually looks worse. No. Okay. All right, whatever. So let's just paste this and just clean it up. What in the world is this? Let me undo it. Back here and copy this. Okay. So we gotta be careful with this copy and paste because it will mess up. Okay, whatever. V. If you ref, okay. Name. That's done for the first one. Second one is going to be, this one should be named C2. Where's that pod? C2, and then while true. So we did this command already. Should, oh, like, equals. Oops. And then it's name your add volume date. Okay. Slash temp. My vol. Okay. Shoot, that wasn't for this one. We do you. Your volume has dates. All right, so that's C2. Now C3 is going to have the same image, so C3. And this command is going to be tail. Okay. Delete all of this. Paste that. So tail, and then I'm gonna have to change this here to TMP slash actually. Okay. So now it says write the output. So I need to create a volume, right? So I'm gonna create a volume here now. It'll be volumes name. The volume name is gonna be, you say the volume has to have a certain name. There should be a volume attached to that polygon in every container, but the volume shouldn't be persisted or shared. So it doesn't really say that. So my vol, and then you're gonna be the mount. Volumes. Mount path. That volume mount. I'm at a brain freeze now. Volumes. Okay, it's a beat beer actually. I think that should be it. So it's here in the directory, and then a name here. I need to attach the volume to all of these. The amounts. Right, volume amounts. Name. My vol. And I'll add is going to be /TMP /my vol. And all of these should have the same volume amount. So that one has it. This one should have it. And then this one should also have it. Okay. That look right, guys? I don't know. Anything looks odd. Volume amounts, my vol, volume name is empty directory. Okay. Log to container. Let me just recreate. That was a big file, so let's see what we got. Line 14. And so it's probably E and V. V and name from is the same. V and name from. V value. Okay. Even value from Mars. Line. Field ref and field path. Field ref and field path. Okay, I think this is like too much. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, all right. Let's see if that helped anything. Okay. So a lot. That was a lot. See if there's any errors that come out. This is running. So we can do a kexec -it multi-container file. -c is gonna be the container name, so we need to go into C3. Then we can do a shell command to get inside there. And let's do the cat /tmp /log. Was it tmp? Well, let's just do this cat /tmp / what I name it. My vol. Oh, right. And so let's tell the date command and -f. It should like add on as it goes. So that was a good one. That one took quite a bit, but got that one done. So we got 5 minutes. We got time for one more question, looks like. So let's exit here. Perfect. So let's change the context. And okay, you're exifying the following information about a cluster. So you would like to answer these in this file here. So how many control plane nodes are available? So okay, get nodes. 1. How many worker nodes are available? There's 2. What is a service cider? So okay, get well, let's do K. Well, actually, let's do a cat. So cat /etc /Kubernetes I mean, I don't know. Did I do this yet? It's already. Okay, pause. All right. All right. So SSH into. Um, okay. So So it's going to be cat /etc Kubernetes manifest, and this is going to be the API server. Cube API server YAML, and we can grab service. So we can see the server IP cluster range is right there. So that's the CIDR range. And then which networking plugins configured and where is this config file, and which suffix will static pods have that run a cluster 1 node 1. So we got this one here. So actually let me just use the other terminal. Let me exit here. Let me make sure and default. Oh, that one is not set here. So it's fine. All right, so let me open up this file here. So let's just paste this stuff. So there's one. So one is one, two. So two worker nodes. Three, we have service CIDR is going to be here. CIDR range is this. Copy. K8's. 4 is which networking is configured and where is its config file. So typically the networking stuff is going to be here. If we go to CD /etc, I think it's C and I or something. C and I. NetD. Let's go there. NLS. Weave. This is I think the configuration file. Let's cat that. Yeah, so it's using Weave. So question number 4 is which networking is configured. So it's going to be Weave, and it's in here. NetD. Where is this config file? It's in NetD. Okay. So let me go ahead and go back here and answer this one. Weave here. Slash. Guess what's the name of it? Okay, got less than a minute left. Weave that conf list. Okay. And then number 5, it gives me the chance is which suffix will be this. Oh man, I didn't get to get this one in. So that was it.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is real good stuff.
Yeah, this
Pat.
one was interesting. So yeah, so obviously you would do this much faster. But it comes with practice, obviously.
Yes.
But these are like a little bit more difficult than the type of questions that you'd probably be expecting to get, like asking you questions about the CNI and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But answering 14, because typically you're gonna get like 17 questions typically. So
Okay.
you're not necessarily gonna get a perfect score, but if you do roughly, good on those, 12 to 14,
Yeah.
you have a good chance. So that's
Yeah.
one thing to consider as well.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is real
So
good stuff right here tonight.
yeah, the night was a really good one. The ones who
Mm.
missed it is it's too bad for them, but yeah, this is good stuff. So I don't even know how to, like, I guess, check.
Yeah.
Um,
Should be
well,
a
let's
way
just score.
to score.
Let's see how bad I did.
Nah, you did good.
So let's see. So obviously we need to do a little bit better on some of these. So
This one
we
you
got
got
3
3
out
out
of
of 3.
3.
Did
5 out
good.
of 5, 11 out of
5 out of 5.
11, 2 out of
Yeah.
2, 6 out of 6. Oh, 1 out of 2. So that one, it didn't like that one.
Okay.
6 out of 6 on that one. 10 out of 10 on here.
You killed it.
2 out. Oh, so it was something with that row binding. It says it didn't exist. That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Go find it.
3 out of 4. DaemonSet. It didn't have the right image. Wow. I did everything else but the image.
Mm-hmm.
And number 12, I think one of those we
Performance.
skipped, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is the one that we skipped. It was
What
like, I
time?
don't remember. Yeah, we skipped that one. And
Mm-hmm.
then this one was good. Okay, so we got that one working perfectly and we tested it as well.
That took a while too.
And yeah, that one took a little minute.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely something I need to improve on, but yeah, that was a good one. And 15, 14, we just couldn't get that one in time, I guess. I
Yeah.
literally just missed it by the ring of the bell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this one has like 25 questions. So yeah,
Oh,
25 here. But overall, I mean, not too bad. I mean, the ones that we actually did was what, this one and 7, but all the
yeah.
other ones we
I mean,
pretty
you
much
was
did perfect.
explaining throughout as well. So
Yeah, exactly. So it says low score, but we did pretty good for the first time, I think. Looking at these questions, but yeah, really good, thorough, and yeah, this one was jam packed with a lot of new things. I'm sure for some of you, for me for sure.
me, it was.
Like yeah, so let's go ahead and we can continue on some other time with the other questions, but
Okay.
I hope you all enjoyed this.
Yeah.
For those who didn't get to watch it live, you can watch it on YouTube and just go over the questions as we went over it, and you can see what mistakes I made, especially on like number 10, which I thought was a give me. The service account ones we should be able to get easily. So I'm kind of stumped on that one, but and making simple mistakes like the Damon said, not having the right container image. That is just things that I can easily improve on just by taking my time and stuff, and not overlooking things. But yeah, do you guys have any questions or any feedback or your thoughts on this whole process? Because this was pretty fun. I'm not even gonna lie, this was an intense one.
Oh yeah. Well, I just enjoyed, tonight's session. I'm definitely gonna, like I said, go over all the replays so I can kind
Hmm.
of. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and take your time. These are like real deal good questions. So if you want, yeah, just question by question, just look through it. And if you need to create your own cluster, you can do that too. Next week, what I'll probably do is do the GitHub one, where we
Okay.
all can like work together on our own computer versus just
Yeah.
watching me do it and we discuss it. So you can really
Exactly.
get your hands on keyboard and you can actually practice within your own cluster on your computer. So
Yeah.
I'll do that next week for everyone to be a little bit more inclusive.
Okay. Okay. That'll work. I
Awesome,
appreciate
awesome.
your
Well, that was a nice 2 hour speed run on some questions there.
time.
And yeah, hopefully you don't have much time left for work. I know you said you were on a shift. So hopefully that
Oh, no,
passed you
I'm
by.
looking for work, Pat.
Oh, you're looking for work. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is you're doing work right now with this, so this is definitely some valuable stuff that you're using your time for. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly as well. But
Okay.
that's it for this episode of K8's Cadence. We hope to see you next week, and thank you again, and continue learning. So
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
stop the recording, and yeah, awesome. All right, awesome. Okay, cool.
Okay. All
Well, see you again next week, Natasha, and yeah, thank you again. All right.
right. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye bye.